Every day, whether you realize it or not, you are moving towards something greater. Even in the quiet moments, even when it feels like you're standing still, there is an incredible force propelling you forward. This journey of life is far more profound than any single goal or destination. We are in a constant state of becoming, constantly evolving into our highest selves. Each step, each challenge, each success, and each failure is leading you somewhere toward a purpose, a calling, an existence that is truly meaningful. This momentum is a dance between your intentions and the universal energy that guides all of life. When we set out on a path, it's common to feel uncertain. We may ask ourselves, where am I going, or what am I meant to do? This is natural. We don't always see the bigger picture, and the unknown can feel overwhelming. But it's essential to remember that even if you can't see the whole path, each step you take is bringing you closer to that greater purpose. It's like driving on a foggy night. You might only see a few feet in front of you, but as long as you keep moving, the path keeps unfolding. This is how life works. When you trust the process, when you put one foot in front of the other, you gradually find your way forward. There is also a certain mystery in life's journey, and that mystery is beautiful. Embracing it allows us to relax into the experience, to let go of the need to control every outcome. This doesn't mean being passive, rather it's about understanding that the universe has a plan, even if you don't yet understand it. Trusting this greater force doesn't absolve us of responsibility, but instead invites us to act with intention and integrity. When we understand that we're part of something bigger than ourselves, every action becomes infused with purpose, even if we don't immediately see its impact. Sometimes just knowing we're moving towards something greater gives us the courage to keep going. It's easy to get caught up in our own judgments of progress. We measure ourselves against timelines, achievements, and standards that may or may not serve our deeper calling. But real progress often happens in ways we can't quantify. It's the small moments of insight, the inner shifts, the strengthening of our character. These are the things that truly shape who we are and guide us towards something greater. We may look back at times and realize that what seemed like insignificant steps were actually crucial moments in our journey. Each experience, no matter how small, is like a brushstroke on the canvas of our lives, gradually painting a picture that only becomes clear in hindsight. This journey toward greatness isn't about striving for perfection or becoming someone else's idea of successful. It's about becoming more fully yourself. The more you embrace who you are, the more you tap into your unique gifts and qualities. Each of us has something special to bring to the world, something that no one else can offer in quite the same way. Moving towards something greater means becoming more of who you are meant to be, letting go of any false masks or fears that hold you back. It's about discovering your true nature and aligning with it more closely each day. Every person you meet, every experience you have is part of the greater journey. Sometimes we encounter challenges or people who test us in ways that feel uncomfortable. These moments are often where the greatest growth occurs. They push us out of our comfort zones and show us strengths we didn't know we had. Often what we perceive as obstacles or setbacks are actually stepping stones leading us closer to our purpose. Embracing each experience, even the difficult ones, is part of moving towards something greater. Instead of resisting or judging these moments, we can view them as valuable teachers, each one helping us refine our character and hone our vision. Living with the awareness that you are always moving towards something greater also cultivates a deep sense of gratitude. When we realize that every experience, every moment is part of a larger tapestry, we can appreciate the richness of life. Even the mundane becomes meaningful because we understand it as a part of the whole. This gratitude becomes a source of strength during challenging times, a reminder that there is a purpose, even if it isn't yet clear. Each day we can look around and say, I am grateful for this moment, for this step on my journey. This mindset shifts our perspective from one of striving and struggling to one of appreciating and growing. In this sense, the journey itself becomes a reward. Rather than focusing only on the outcome or the destination, we learn to love the process. There is joy in each step, in each opportunity to grow and learn. Moving towards something greater is about finding fulfillment in the now while remaining open to the future. We can have goals, dreams, and aspirations, but we don't let them define our happiness. True contentment comes from knowing that we're on a path, a journey of becoming, and that this journey is in itself something magnificent. So as you go through life, remember that you are always moving towards something greater. Trust that every day, every decision, and every experience is part of a larger plan. Don't rush or force the journey. Embrace each step with a spirit of curiosity and wonder. Allow yourself to be guided by the unseen forces at work. Know that in time, the path will become clear, and you will arrive exactly where you are meant to be, as the person you are meant to become. Let each day, each moment remind you that you are on a journey that is leading you to something profoundly beautiful and deeply significant. Discipline is often misunderstood. We sometimes think of it as restrictive, binding us to routines and robbing us of spontaneity. But true discipline isn't about limiting freedom, rather, it's the pathway to experiencing a higher, richer kind of freedom. Through discipline, we cultivate the ability to act in alignment with our intentions, gaining the focus and strength to move toward our goals without distraction. This kind of discipline, one based on choice and intention, becomes a tool to shape our lives, leading us toward the freedom to be fully, authentically ourselves. Imagine discipline as the foundation of a well-built house. Without structure, the house would collapse. The same is true for us. We have dreams, desires, and goals, but they need a framework to come alive. Discipline is that framework. It provides us with consistency, routine, and commitment, creating a solid base for growth. When we are disciplined, we bring our actions into harmony with our values. We are no longer slaves to fleeting whims or passing distractions. Instead, we become masters of our choices, our time, and ultimately our lives. One of the greatest benefits of discipline is clarity. When we commit to certain practices, habits, or routines, we eliminate much of the noise that fills our days. Rather than being scattered, reacting to whatever comes our way, we create a path of intentionality. For example, when we choose a morning routine, whether it's exercise, meditation, or reading, we set the tone for our day with purpose. These small, disciplined actions keep us grounded, clear, and focused. We start each day not from a place of chaos, but from a place of control. We know where we're going, and we know the steps we need to take to get there. Discipline also gives us the power to persevere in the face of difficulty. Life, as we know, is unpredictable. There will always be challenges, setbacks, and obstacles that test our resolve. When we lack discipline, these setbacks can derail us. But with discipline, we build resilience. We create a practice of sticking to our commitments, even when things aren't easy. This strength doesn't just appear overnight, it's cultivated step by step by step. Each time we honor our commitments to ourselves, we become stronger, more resilient, and more capable of handling adversity. Consider the example of an artist. To create a masterpiece, they must spend hours honing their skills, practicing and perfecting their craft. This discipline doesn't limit their creativity, it enhances it. By showing up to their work each day, by committing to the process, they gain the freedom to explore, experiment, and create something truly remarkable. The same is true for all of us. Whatever our work or our passion, discipline frees us to express ourselves fully. It gives us the space to push beyond our current limitations and reach new heights of excellence. Another key aspect of discipline is that it teaches us delayed gratification. In our modern world, where we're often accustomed to instant results, discipline reminds us that some things are worth waiting for. Real growth, meaningful achievements, and personal transformation take time. Discipline helps us cultivate patience, allowing us to see beyond immediate rewards to the larger goal we're working toward. When we learn to wait, to work diligently, and to stay committed, we gain the freedom to achieve things we may have once thought impossible. This practice of delayed gratification also extends to how we manage our desires. Without discipline, we're at the mercy of every impulse. We might chase after whatever feels good in the moment without considering whether it aligns with our larger vision. But discipline helps us pause, reflect, and make choices that serve our highest good. Rather than seeking temporary pleasure, we pursue what truly fulfills us. This is a profound kind of freedom, the freedom from being controlled by fleeting wants, instead choosing actions that resonate with our long-term values. In this sense, discipline fosters self-respect. Each time we honor a commitment to ourselves, no matter how small, we build trust within. We start to see ourselves as people who keep promises, who follow through. This self-respect strengthens our self-worth, which in turn increases our ability to live freely and authentically. Discipline is not about depriving ourselves, it's about nurturing our deepest needs. By staying disciplined, we invest in our own growth, health, and happiness, which brings a sense of pride and fulfillment. Discipline is also a powerful way to develop self-awareness. When we live in a disciplined way, we start to recognize our patterns, what works for us and what doesn't. We become attuned to our strengths and weaknesses, understanding what triggers us or leads us off course. This awareness is invaluable. It allows us to correct ourselves gently, without judgment, and to realign with our intentions. The better we understand ourselves, the more freedom we have to make choices that support our true nature. Through discipline, we can break free from the grip of distractions and temptations that pull us away from our purpose. We live in a world full of noise, endless options, and constant stimulation. Without discipline, it's easy to get swept up in it all, losing focus and clarity. discipline serves as a compass, helping us navigate through the distractions and stay on course. It reminds us of what truly matters so we can give our energy to the things that bring us joy, growth, and peace. In this way, discipline liberates us from the chaos, giving us the freedom to live with focus and intention. When we embrace discipline as a path to freedom, we open ourselves up to a life of greater meaning and fulfillment. We begin to realize that discipline isn't a burden, it's a blessing. It empowers us to create, to grow, and to become who we truly are. The structure we build through discipline gives us the stability to explore, to reach beyond our comfort zones, and to experience life in all its richness. In choosing discipline, we choose to live deliberately, fully, and freely. Ultimately, discipline is about commitment to ourselves, to our values, and to our purpose. When we live with discipline, we are no longer held back by doubts, fears, or distractions. We gain the freedom to walk our own path with confidence and clarity. And in doing so, we experience a profound kind of freedom, the freedom to become the best version of ourselves. This truly is the doorway to a life of purpose, peace, and joy. Discipline is not just a practice, it's the key that unlocks our potential, setting us free to live a life that reflects our highest aspirations. Obstacles are often perceived as barriers, something to be avoided or minimized. Yet, if we shift our perspective, obstacles can reveal themselves as essential guides on our journey. Rather than standing in the way, they are here to steer us in the right direction, pushing us to grow, adapt, and look within ourselves for strength and insight we might not otherwise discover. This view that obstacles are the universe's way of guiding us offers a profound opportunity for transformation. It invites us to embrace challenges with openness, curiosity, and gratitude, knowing that each hurdle is a step toward our greater purpose. When we encounter an obstacle, our initial reaction is often frustration or disappointment. We wonder why things aren't going according to plan, and it's easy to feel as if the universe is working against us. But what if, instead, the universe is working for us? Imagine that each obstacle is a message or lesson specifically designed for us to see. Perhaps this challenge is asking us to examine whether we are truly aligned with our purpose, pushing us to make adjustments or to step up in new ways. If we can trust that there's a reason behind each challenge, then obstacles become not setbacks but stepping stones. These stepping stones come in various forms. Sometimes an obstacle might reveal itself as a missed opportunity, a job that didn't work out, a project that fell through, or a relationship that ended. In the moment, these experiences can be painful, even heartbreaking. We often focus on the loss or the disappointment, but over time we may realize that these so-called losses opened up space for something even better to enter our lives. When one door closes, another often opens. If we allow ourselves to see the bigger picture, we recognize that the universe may be clearing away what no longer serves us, guiding us towards something that will. Obstacles also teach us resilience. Each time we face a challenge, we are given a choice to give up or to keep going. It's in these moments of struggle that we build strength, courage, and endure. Imagine if everything in life came easily, we would never know the depth of our own power, our own potential. Challenges shape us. They push us to discover abilities we didn't know we had. They encourage us to go beyond our limits, to grow in ways that easy times never would. When we persevere through obstacles, we develop a sense of self-trust that is invaluable. We realize that no matter what comes our way, we have the capacity to handle it. There is also a spiritual dimension to obstacles. Many spiritual traditions teach that life's challenges are opportunities for inner growth. They invite us to look beyond the surface and connect with something deeper within ourselves. Often, obstacles require us to let go of our ego-driven desires or our attachment to specific outcomes. They call us to surrender, to trust in a higher plan that we may not fully understand. This act of surrender doesn't mean giving up, rather, it's an act of faith, an acknowledgement that there is a greater wisdom at work. By releasing our need for control, we open ourselves to the guidance that the universe is offering. We learn to align with this flow rather than resist it. Obstacles also cultivate creativity and adaptability. When we face a roadblock, we're forced to think outside the box, to find new ways of achieving our goals. Many of the world's greatest innovations and breakthroughs have come from people who encountered and overcame obstacles. These challenges push them to ask new questions, to see things from a different angle, and to find solutions that others had overlooked. When we embrace obstacles as opportunities for creativity, we free ourselves from rigid thinking. We start to see that there are many paths to our destination, some of which we might never have considered without the push of a challenge. Moreover, obstacles reveal what truly matters to us. When something is hard, we have to ask ourselves if it's worth fighting for. If it is, then the struggle only deepens our commitment. If it isn't, the obstacle has helped us clarify our values, our priorities. Each time we overcome a difficulty, we refine our sense of purpose. We become clearer about who we are, what we want, and what we're willing to invest our energy in. Obstacles become mirrors, reflecting back our true desires and intentions. They strip away what's superficial and guide us toward what is meaningful and lasting. Another way that obstacles guide us is by connecting us with others. When we're going through a difficult time, we often reach out for support. In doing so, we build deeper relationships, finding strength and solidarity in shared challenges. Sometimes, the people we meet during these hard times become lifelong friends, mentors, or collaborators. Our challenges bring us into contact with people who can offer wisdom, support, and companionship. In this way, obstacles lead us to form connections that enrich our lives and expand our understanding of the world. Lastly, obstacles teach us humility and compassion. When we face our own struggles, we become more understanding of others who are going through similar hardships. We realize that everyone has their own challenges, their own battles. This understanding fosters empathy, making us kinder and more compassionate. When we see obstacles as teachers rather than enemies, we cultivate a mindset of openness and understanding that benefits not only ourselves but also those around us. Ultimately, obstacles are a part of life that none of us can avoid. They come in different shapes and sizes, sometimes when we least expect them. But by embracing them as part of the journey, by viewing them as guidance rather than punishment, we transform our relationship with these challenges. We begin to see them as allies in our journey toward growth, resilience, and self-discovery. Each obstacle becomes an invitation, a chance to dig deeper, to see more clearly, and to step more fully into who we are meant to be. So next time you face an obstacle, try not to push it away or view it as a roadblock. Instead, ask yourself, what is this here to teach me? How is this guiding me? Embrace the challenge as a partner in your journey, a guide pointing you toward the strength, wisdom, and potential that already lies within you. Remember that the universe has a way of leading us exactly where we need to go, even if the path isn't always what we expected. Trust in this process, and let each obstacle be a step toward the realization of your highest self. Thoughts are the seeds of everything we do and experience in life. While we may not always realize it, our thoughts hold immense power. They shape our perception of reality, influence our emotions, and ultimately guide our actions. Each thought we entertain has the potential to affect the course of our lives, steering us closer to or further from the things we want to achieve. This is why it's essential to remember the power of our thoughts and to recognize the role they play in creating our reality. When we understand this, we can begin to choose thoughts that uplift and empower us rather than thoughts that limit or hold us back. Our minds are like fertile ground, and our thoughts are the seeds we plant. If we constantly plant seeds of doubt, fear, and negativity, we'll find ourselves surrounded by those same qualities in our lives. But if we plant seeds of positivity, hope, and possibility, we can cultivate a life that reflects those values. Each thought has energy, and when we focus on uplifting ideas, we're more likely to act in ways that align with those thoughts. Positive thinking doesn't mean denying reality or ignoring challenges. It's about focusing on solutions and possibilities rather than dwelling on limitations. The relationship between our thoughts and emotions is crucial. Thoughts are the starting point of our emotional experiences. When we think negatively, our emotions follow, creating feelings of sadness, frustration, or hopelessness. Conversely, when we focus on empowering thoughts, we generate feelings of joy, excitement, and motivation. Imagine that you're facing a challenge like a difficult project or a personal setback. If your thoughts dwell on failure or inadequacy, you'll likely feel overwhelmed and defeated. But if you choose to think, I can handle this, or this is an opportunity to grow, you're more likely to approach the situation with confidence and resilience. By consciously guiding our thoughts, we gain the power to shape our emotions and create a more positive experience. Our thoughts also influence our actions. When we hold certain beliefs, those beliefs inform our behavior. If you believe that you are capable and resilient, you're more likely to take bold, confident actions. But if your thoughts are full of doubt and fear, your actions will reflect that hesitation. Think about a person who wants to start a business. If they constantly think, I'm not good enough or I'll probably fail, they may never take the first step. However, if they think I have valuable skills or I can figure this out, they're more likely to take the risk and make progress. In this way, thoughts act as a blueprint for our actions, setting the foundation for the choices we make. Another essential aspect of the power of thought is self-fulfilling prophecy. When we repeatedly think a certain way, our minds start looking for evidence to support those beliefs, even unconsciously. This process is known as confirmation bias, and it can work both for us and against us. If we believe we're unlucky or destined to fail, our minds will notice situations that confirm those beliefs, reinforcing our feelings of helplessness. But if we believe we're capable and deserving, we'll start noticing opportunities, strengths, and resources that support those positive beliefs. This is why it's so important to choose thoughts that align with the reality we want to create. In addition, the power of our thoughts extends beyond our individual experience. Thoughts have energy that radiates outward and influences the people around us. When we focus on positive, loving, and compassionate thoughts, we emit an energy that others can feel. Have you ever noticed how spending time with a positive person can uplift your mood while a negative person can drain your energy? This phenomenon illustrates how our thoughts affect not only our inner world, but also the energy we share with others. When we think positively, we become a source of inspiration and encouragement, creating a ripple effect that can positively impact the lives of those around us. Harnessing the power of our thoughts requires mindfulness. Most of us have habitual thought patterns, many of which operate below our conscious awareness. We may carry negative beliefs about ourselves or the world that have been ingrained in us over time, and these beliefs continue to influence us until we bring them to light. Mindfulness allows us to become aware of these patterns and make conscious choices about the thoughts we entertain. By observing our thoughts without judgment, we gain the ability to step back, recognize unhelpful thought patterns, and replace them with more empowering perspectives. It's also helpful to cultivate gratitude as a way to enhance the power of our thoughts. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we already have, fostering a sense of abundance and positivity. When we actively think about what we're grateful for, we train our minds to see the good in our lives, which naturally attracts more positivity. Regularly practicing gratitude can transform our mindset, making it easier to maintain positive, uplifting thoughts even when challenges arise. Gratitude strengthens our resilience, reminding us of the resources we already possess to handle life's ups and downs. Visualization is another powerful tool for harnessing the power of thought. By vividly imagining our goals and dreams, we create a mental image that our minds can work toward. Visualization activates our subconscious mind, helping us align our actions with our intentions. When we imagine ourselves succeeding, we're more likely to take the necessary steps to make that vision a reality. This practice doesn't just enhance motivation, it reinforces our belief in our own capabilities, making success feel not only possible but inevitable. Ultimately, remembering the power of our thoughts is about recognizing that we have a choice. Each day we can choose to focus on thoughts that uplift, inspire, and empower us, or we can fall into patterns of negativity and limitation. While we can't always control the events in our lives, we can control how we respond to them by choosing our thoughts carefully. By cultivating a positive mindset, we open ourselves to greater possibilities, enhanced well-being, and a life that reflects our highest potential. So as you move through life, remember that your thoughts are the architects of your reality. Each thought is a powerful force that can shape your emotions, actions, and ultimately your destiny. Choose wisely and choose thoughts that reflect the life you wish to create. As you do, you'll find that the world around you begins to change in ways that align with your highest aspirations, creating a life filled with purpose, joy, and fulfillment. Gratitude is a powerful tool, often underestimated in its ability to transform our lives. When we think of endurance, especially enduring life's challenges, the hard work, or the day-to-day grind, we usually focus on strength, discipline, and resilience. However, there's a hidden force that strengthens our spirit and keeps us moving forward: gratitude. While gratitude is often associated with moments of joy or satisfaction, it becomes even more impactful when we embrace it during life's most demanding and difficult times. Far from just a fleeting emotion, gratitude is a deep-seated mindset that sustains us, bringing meaning to our efforts, clarity to our goals, and the resilience needed to keep going when the going gets tough. When we approach our challenges with gratitude, we're shifting our mindset from one of resistance to one of acceptance and purpose. Instead of feeling burdened by the work we have to do, we start to see the value in it. Consider a challenging project at work, one that demands long hours and drains our energy. Without gratitude, this project might feel like a chore, something to endure and get over with. But when we bring gratitude into the equation, we start to see the bigger picture. We become grateful for the skills we're developing, the lessons we're learning, and the opportunities to grow. Gratitude changes our relationship with the grind, helping us to view our efforts not as a burden, but as a meaningful part of our journey. One of the most significant ways gratitude helps us endure the grind is by grounding us in the present moment. When we're overwhelmed by challenges, our minds often drift to either the past or the future, worrying about what could go wrong or dwelling on past mistakes. Gratitude, however, brings us back to the present, reminding us to appreciate what we have right now. Each small step forward becomes a moment of appreciation. By focusing on what's going well, Even if it's just a tiny accomplishment or a brief moment of rest, we cultivate resilience and stay engaged with the task at hand. The grind becomes less about an end goal and more about appreciating each stage of the journey. Gratitude also plays a vital role in managing stress and avoiding burnout. The grind can be exhausting both mentally and physically, especially when we feel as though our efforts are going unappreciated or unacknowledged. Practicing gratitude allows us to find appreciation within ourselves, independent of external validation. When we recognize the good that comes from our hard work, we become more motivated to keep going, less reliant on the recognition or praise of others. For instance, a teacher who feels the weight of their responsibilities might find renewed energy and endurance by focusing on gratitude for the positive impact they have on their students, even if that impact isn't immediately visible. Gratitude creates a well of positivity that we can draw from in moments of exhaustion or doubt, giving us the strength to persevere. Furthermore, gratitude shifts our focus from scarcity to abundance. The grind often has us focused on what we lack, the skills we're still developing, the time we don't have, or the resources we're struggling to find. This scarcity mindset can make us feel defeated before we even start. But gratitude reframes this perspective, allowing us to see what we already have at our disposal. We start to recognize the skills, strengths, and support systems that are already in place. A student facing a tough academic year, for example, might initially feel overwhelmed by the workload and the uncertainty of success. But if they focus on gratitude, perhaps for the support of mentors, access to education, or their ability to learn and grow, they're likely to find themselves more resilient, more focused, and less likely to give in to stress. Gratitude also enhances our sense of purpose. When we're grateful, we become more aware of why we're doing what we're doing. We start to see the impact our efforts have, not only on our own lives, but on the lives of others. This is especially powerful in roles or careers that may feel like a grind, but have a significant positive impact on others, such as healthcare, teaching, or social work. When we remember to be grateful for the opportunity to serve or to make a difference, we find renewed motivation, even in the face of overwhelming tasks. Gratitude transforms our hard work from something we have to do into something we get to do, shifting our mindset from obligation to opportunity. Another transformative aspect of gratitude is its ability to cultivate self-compassion. Often we're our own harshest critics, especially during challenging times. We might dwell on mistakes, focusing on everything we haven't achieved or everything that didn't go as planned. But gratitude helps us extend kindness to ourselves. By being grateful for our efforts, even when we stumble, we're more likely to view setbacks as part of the process rather than as failures. A person training for a marathon, for instance, might face days where they fall short of their goals. Instead of focusing on what went wrong, gratitude allows them to appreciate the progress they've made, encouraging them to keep going. This self-compassion softens the grind, allowing us to persevere with a sense of acceptance rather than harsh judgment. Gratitude also brings us into a state of connection. The grind can often feel lonely, especially when we're working toward long-term goals that require patience and perseverance. But when we practice gratitude, we start to recognize the people who support us, the mentors who guide us, and the loved ones who cheer us on. Even when they're not directly involved in our journey, their encouragement and presence add meaning to our work. This awareness of connection provides us with a network of support, reminding us that we're not alone in our efforts. Whether it's a friend who listens, a colleague who collaborates, or a family member who believes in us, gratitude brings us closer to the people who make the journey worthwhile. Finally, gratitude helps us appreciate the lessons embedded in the grind itself. Every challenge teaches us something, whether it's patience, resilience, adaptability, or humility. When we look back on difficult times, we often realize that those were the moments that shaped us the most. By choosing gratitude, we acknowledge the value of these lessons as we go through them, not just after we've moved past them. Each day becomes an opportunity to grow, to strengthen our character, and to build the skills that will serve us well in the future. We may not always enjoy the grind, but with gratitude, we come to see its worth. In embracing gratitude, we discover a strength that goes beyond physical endurance or willpower. Gratitude fuels us on a deeper level, reminding us that every step of the grind, every challenge, and every effort has purpose and meaning. When we choose to be grateful, we not only endure the grind, we thrive in it, knowing that each moment is contributing to our growth, our wisdom, and our journey toward a fulfilling life. Trusting that we're guided by something greater is a profound yet often challenging mindset to adopt, especially when life throws curveballs or we feel lost in our journey. At the heart of this belief is the notion that there is a force, call it the universe, fate, destiny, or a higher power that supports and leads us even when things seem unclear. Embracing this idea allows us to release our need for total control and find comfort in the understanding that there's a bigger plan at work, one that transcends our immediate circumstances. Trusting that we are guided by something greater is not a call to passive acceptance, but rather an invitation to live with purpose, peace, and an open heart, knowing that every experience, every interaction, and every challenge serves a higher purpose in our life. One of the most powerful aspects of this belief is the sense of relief it brings. Life is filled with unknowns, and we often expend a lot of energy trying to predict or control outcomes. We worry about the future, dwell on mistakes, and second-guess our decisions. But when we trust that we're guided, we're able to let go of some of that anxiety and approach life with a sense of faith and calm. Instead of obsessing over what could go wrong or trying to plan every detail, we allow ourselves to stay open to the possibilities, knowing that even unexpected events can lead us toward growth, wisdom, and self-discovery. This doesn't mean that we don't set goals or work hard. It simply means we're not trying to force things to happen. We learn to move forward with intention while remaining flexible and open to wherever life might take us. Trusting in a greater guidance also helps us find meaning in challenges and setbacks. Often, when things don't go as planned, it's easy to feel discouraged or to interpret these experiences as failures. However, from a broader perspective, these obstacles may actually be guiding us towards something better. Think of a time when you faced rejection or disappointment, only to look back later and realize that it was a blessing in disguise. Maybe a job you didn't get led you to an even better opportunity, or a relationship that didn't work out helped you grow in ways that prepared you for something healthier. When we trust that we're guided, we come to understand that setbacks are not punishments or random events, but rather redirects, steering us toward the path that aligns more closely with our purpose and potential. Moreover, this sense of trust cultivates patience and resilience. Life doesn't always move at the pace we expect, and waiting, whether for the right opportunity, a personal breakthrough, or a resolution, can be frustrating. But when we believe that a greater guidance is at work, we're more able to endure these periods of waiting with grace. Instead of seeing waiting as wasted time, we view it as a necessary phase in our journey. We come to trust that everything unfolds in its own time, and that each step, even the quiet and uncertain ones, is part of our preparation for what lies ahead. This patience builds resilience because we're not constantly resisting or rushing the process, rather we're accepting it as part of our growth. Another powerful benefit of trusting in a higher guidance is the sense of connectedness it fosters. When we believe that something greater is at work, we begin to see ourselves as part of a larger tapestry. Our experiences, both good and bad, are not isolated events, but threads in a vast, interconnected web. This belief allows us to feel a deeper connection to the people around us and to the world itself. We start to see that our lives have meaning beyond our own personal goals or desires. Our actions and choices can have a positive impact on others, and we're all moving together towards something larger than ourselves. This sense of connection helps us feel less alone, especially during difficult times, reminding us that we're part of a shared journey. Trusting in guidance also encourages us to listen more closely to our intuition. Often, the something greater guiding us is not a voice from above, but rather a quiet whisper within. Intuition is the inner knowing that helps us make decisions, often in ways that we can't rationally explain. By trusting in a greater guidance, we give ourselves permission to follow our intuition, even when it doesn't seem logical. Many people have experienced moments where they felt an inexplicable pull toward a particular choice or direction, only to later realize that it was exactly what they needed. By honoring this inner guidance, we allow ourselves to be led toward experiences that enrich our lives in ways we might not have imagined. In addition, trusting that we're guided helps us to cultivate gratitude. When we believe that every experience serves a purpose, we're more inclined to appreciate all aspects of our journey, even the challenges. We stop viewing difficulties as unfair burdens and start seeing them as opportunities for growth and learning. This mindset doesn't mean we have to love every hard moment, but it does mean we can approach those moments with a sense of gratitude for the lessons they bring. Gratitude keeps our hearts open and receptive, allowing us to notice the beauty and wisdom that exist even in the most challenging times. Another aspect of this trust is that it liberates us from the fear of making mistakes. When we constantly worry about making the right decision, we often become paralyzed by doubt. But if we trust that we're guided, we begin to see that even our so-called mistakes can serve a purpose. We realize that we don't have to get everything right the first time, and that each decision, even those that don't lead where we expected, can still contribute to our growth. This perspective allows us to take risks, to explore, and to make choices with confidence, knowing that there's value in every experience, regardless of the outcome. Finally, trusting in greater guidance invites us to live with a sense of purpose and alignment. When we believe we're being led towards something meaningful, we're more inclined to seek out what feels true to us, to honor our passions, and to act in ways that reflect our deepest values. This alignment brings a sense of fulfillment because we're not just living for the sake of achieving goals or meeting expectations, we're living in a way that feels authentic and purposeful. Each day, each decision becomes a part of our journey toward becoming the person we're meant to be. In embracing the belief that we're guided by something greater, we're ultimately choosing to live with faith, peace, and an open heart. We recognize that life's twists and turns are not obstacles, but essential parts of our journey. This trust doesn't mean that life will be easy or that we'll always understand why things happen as they do. But it does mean that we can move forward with courage, knowing that we're not alone, that we're part of a larger plan, and that every experience is leading us toward growth, meaning, and a deeper connection with ourselves and the world.